Today, I would like to address the tragedy that has not received nearly enough media attention, the brutal murder of Irina Zarutska. Here are the facts that many outlets have shamefully and intentionally failed to report until President Trump drew attention to it. On August 22nd, Irina Zarutska was stabbed to death on the rail system in Charlotte, North Carolina, by a savage career criminal. This is a public transportation system that many in the area use every single day to go to school and work. Irina was on the train that night traveling home from her job at a pizzeria, still in uniform from her shift. This beautiful, innocent 23-year-old young woman was a Ukrainian refugee who had recently fled her country for a chance at a safer life and a promising new beginning here in the United States of America. But tragically, a public transportation system in a major American city was more dangerous than the active war zone that she left.
You probably didn't start hearing about this until yesterday, because I know that's the first time I heard it. It happened on August 22nd. A young girl, 23 years old, a refugee from Ukraine, who came to the United States to escape her war-torn country. 23 years old, just got out of work from working in a pizza shop. Got on a train, sat down to go home, looking at her phone, and DeCarlos Brown Jr., sitting behind her, decided to stand up and plunge a knife into her neck several times, taking her life from her. And why didn't we hear about it? Well, I'm going to tell you why, because it does not fit the mainstream media's narrative. They won't talk about a vicious career criminal, a black man, committing such a horrific crime because they want the American people to believe that their cities are safe. We've seen it in Washington, New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, and now we're seeing it in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Democrats of today want to continue to lie to the American people and say their cities are safe. Come live here, come work here, come vacation here, when we all know that's a bunch of bullshit. This man had 14 prior convictions and was let out every time except for one stint he did in prison for approximately 5 years.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people, really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country.
And the words spoken by the president were 100% facts and 100% true. People have been forced for too long to live in states and cities that are run by Democrats, that crime is out of control, and their so-called leaders do nothing about it. Take Chicago, for instance. Brandon Johnson has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on illegal immigrants instead of paying for the safety of his own people. And Governor Pritzker thinks Chicago is safe. What is going on with these people, and why can't they see the problem? Well, I believe that they do see the problem, but they don't want anybody to know. They want people to believe that their cities and towns and states are safe. An innocent girl, I'm probably going to say it 10 more times, was brutally attacked and killed by a lunatic. And you heard nothing about it on CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS, and so on. No one talked about it.
Surveillance video of the killing was finally released to the public this past Friday. It shows the alleged killer, DeCarlos Brown Jr., pull out a knife, get up from his seat behind Irina, and prepare to thrust a blade into her neck before the released footage gets cut. This is pure evil on full display. The most enraging and unacceptable part of this story is that her death was entirely preventable. DeCarlos Brown never should have been on that train that night. In fact, he should have been behind bars. DeCarlos Brown has been charged with crimes no fewer than 14 times, dating back to 2011, including for armed robbery, felony larceny, breaking and entering, and shoplifting. Brown had previously served 5 years in prison for a robbery with a deadly weapon charge, and he had also forfeited bonds 3 different times, twice in 2014 and once in 2023. Despite all of this past documented criminal history, when Brown was arrested yet again in January of this past year, a Democrat judge, who I will add was a strong supporter of former Vice President Kamala Harris, released this insane criminal once again without requiring him to pay any bail.
And this is the exact reason President Trump is sending in federal agents and National Guard troops to certain Democrat-run cities in this country because of the out-of-control crime and the Democrats in charge who do not do anything about it. They handcuff the hands of their police forces. They don't allow them to do their job. And if someone is arrested, even a repeat offender, they're let out with either no cash bail or a very, very low surety bail, which means they're back on the street to commit their crimes again. But you didn't hear about DeCarlos Brown Jr. because it does not fit the Democrat narrative. He was a black man who attacked a white person. Democrats aren't interested in that. They're not interested in all the black-on-black crime. They're only interested when a white person, a civilian, or a white police officer harms or kills a black person. Because that fits their narrative, how MAGA or Republicans or conservatives are all white supremacists. This is a huge problem in this country, where you can't get a political party to admit that they are failing. They are failing the people who put them in office, because you're elected to serve and to take care of your community. And the Democrat politicians in these states and cities are not doing that. They're wasting money on illegal aliens to live in their states and cities and towns while their own residents suffer and have to fend for themselves. Well, that young girl came here for a better life, and she was on the way to a better life. But that's over now because some Democrat judge in a Democrat city let him walk free time and time again. So I guess all we can do is wait. Trump's going to send the agents and troops to Chicago. He's going to clean that up. Then I'm hoping they go to New York and clean that up, and then Philly, and then so on. Because this Democrat Party needs to be put on notice. The more you fail the people who voted for you, the more the federal government is going to come in and take over your law enforcement. Trump promised on the campaign that he was going to make this country safe, and that's exactly what he's doing, and he's getting nothing but backlash from the Democrats. Because one more time, if it's safe, that doesn't fit their narrative. Because according to Democrats, white or black, all white people, all all MAGA, we're all racist. And I got news for you. Guess who's the racist? The Democrats. White, black, yellow, blue, green. Whatever color they are, whatever ethnicity they are, the Democrats are the racist party.